To me personally, my thoughts on Ramadan are inspired by the only passage in the Quran that deals with the subject. A little past the middle of Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah talks about the function, the purpose of Ramadan. And what I find probably the most inspiring in that passage, first and foremost, is that Allah did not describe this month as a month of fasting, nor did He describe it as a month of prayer. First and foremost, He described it as a month in which the Quran itself was revealed. When He described the Quran, He described it in a way as though He was first introducing the Quran, as though it's never been introduced before, right? And this is a Madani surah, which means the Muslims have been receiving Quran through the Prophet ﷺ for over a decade now, well over a decade. And yet Allah says, هُدًى لِلنَّاسِ وَبَيِّنَاتٍ مِّنَ الْهُدَى وَالْفُرْقَانِ, as though it's like Allah is telling us what the Quran is for the first time. So what that teaches me, at least, and I hope other Muslims too, is that you have to renew your relationship with this book, almost as though it's you never knew it before, and you have to come at it anew. So it's a month of rejuvenating your experience with the Quran, so you can experience it like that first generation was taught to experience it all over again. That's the first and foremost thing. Like, this month should be a celebration of revelation itself. That's what it should be. So I study Quran throughout the year, but I turn it up a few notches in the month of Ramadan. My memorization goes up. I haven't finished memorizing the Quran. I'm working on it part-time, slowly but surely, but it goes on an accelerator in the month of Ramadan. I try to catch i'tikaf every year, and in i'tikaf I do a lot of review of Quran. For me personally, actually the act of memorizing Quran is not just the act of memorization, but actually when you recite the ayat over and over again, it gives you a chance to reflect on the word of Allah too, and to think about the same thing over and over again. And it brings about opportunities for insights, which I really, really enjoy. The other thing I really enjoy doing in Ramadan is the nightly Taraweeh prayers. But I will be honest with you, I don't, a lot of times I won't join the entire Taraweeh prayer, or I'll go to a masjid which actually takes it easier. Because some masajids, unfortunately, their big goal is to finish the recitation of the entire Quran, and they rush through the recitation. And there are other masajids, alhamdulillah, in our area, there are some that actually take it easy. They won't recite a lot, but what they recite, they really enjoy reciting. And this month should not be about quantity, it should be about quality. There is no religious guideline that you have to finish the entire Quran. There's no such thing. It wasn't imposed, so we impose this on ourselves, right? And you find people that, they pray the 8 rak'ah and there's a mad rush outside of the masjid. It's just I got it over with, let me get out of here. But actually prayer is supposed to be this reflective, spiritual experience where you're enjoying the word of Allah in every rak'ah. And that's really something I hope to restore every year for myself in Ramadan, and I hope other people do too, inshallah. A lot of people might know I'm a very public figure, and so Ramadan is probably the most private time I have. So a lot of the activities that I do for the community and public speaking, I cut all that out. I don't travel, I don't speak, I try not to do anything in Ramadan. Ramadan is more for myself. Especially the evenings are more for myself. So if I do something, it's during the day. I'll teach a course or something like that, just to feel like I'm still doing something. And it'll be like limited attendance. Instead of doing a program for 1,000 people or 500 people, it'll be like 20 or 30 people or something, and do it in a limited capacity, just so I'm still forcing myself to do something beyond just myself. But I do think that Muslims should balance. The scale should tip more towards what you want to do for yourself to become a better person. And instilling better habits in this month. And yes, if you have time to do other productive things for your community, be engaged, etc., that's great. But really, this is the month for self-improvement. Really, this is how we should look at it. First of all, it's going to be easy. It's a month of celebrating Quran. And then, أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي. What you should personally be doing is turning to Allah more, right? So I ask myself, honestly, the way I spend any given day, not Ramadan, any given day, what could I have been doing better, right? What opportunities did I miss? Did I wake up too late? Did I rush through the prayer? Did I have breakfast on time? Did I get enough time to exercise, etc., right? And a good balanced day, if you can create balance in a day, then you can replicate that the rest of your life. And that means a good life. So to me, a good day actually translates into a good life. And a non-productive day translates into a non-productive life. Because really, at the end of the day, we recycle our days, right? A lot of our days, they go by, a week goes by and it feels like it was just a day, because it's all the same over and over again, right? So if you instill certain habits on a daily basis, and this is the time to do it. Shaitan's chained up, The waswasa is gone. Everybody around you is motivated. Allah has given special ease to you, empowered you in ways that you wouldn't be empowered before. So it's a time to instill good spiritual habits, good personal habits, good eating habits. Eat healthy. Don't eat oily stuff for iftar.
Yeah.
Don't eat greasy stuff for suhoor. Like, cut that stuff down. Get into better shape. Unfortunately, there are some statistics in Muslim countries. Some Muslims gain the most weight in the month of Ramadan, right? Which is like, I can't fathom it.
Yeah.
I can't understand it. So for me personally, that's what it's actually essentially and fundamentally about.